Welcome back. It was evening. The streets of Bharavpur, an old village located far from the town, were as usual. It was deserted. The sky was lightly clouded, and a cool breeze blew through the old mansion. Broken windows were causing a commotion. Villagers also passed by this mansion. They didn't pass by. It's said that strange noises can be heard here, as if something unseen is present. A person is walking around. Reena came to visit the village with her friends. It was. Everyone joked, "Come on, Reena, you're acting so brave. If you really have the guts, then go inside the mansion." "What would I be afraid of? There are no such things as ghosts." Reena went inside the mansion alone. Flashlight. As the light fell on the broken walls, eerie shadows began to form. She turned around in surprise. No one was there. Maybe my friends were playing a prank. But the next moment, he saw me in the flashlight. I saw another shadow moving on the wall besides hers. Reena's breathing quickened. He called out softly, "Who's there?" There was no response. Only the sound of footsteps slowly approached. He ran outside. It was my friends laughed. "What happened?" The color drained from my face. Reena said in a trembling voice. No, there was someone inside. My friends made fun of me. But that day, from onwards, strange things began to happen to Reena. Sometimes, someone would come into her room at night. The sound of footsteps could be heard. Sometimes a blurred shadow would appear behind him in the mirror. The village barber Raghu closed his shop late every night. One day, as he was walking home from the pond, and he felt someone following him. "Who is it? Come forward." There was no response. He began walking faster, but the noises grew louder. Suddenly, a white shadow stood before him. Its eyes glowed deep green. "Raghu, your time has come. You won't survive." Raghu screamed loudly and ran away. The next day, the villagers saw Raghu looking insane. 82%. It was he kept saying, "Move away, the sound will take me. The sound will take me." Aniruddha was a teacher in the village school. He did not believe in ghosts. But one night, as he was returning from the mansion, he heard a clear sound like a heavy. The sound of whooping sounds is coming from behind him. What's that sound? There's no one else here. He turns around, only to find empty road behind him. Then suddenly, someone whispered in his ear, "You will not survive." Reena, Raghu, and Aniruddha were all different people. But they all felt the same thing, and that it was fear slowly spread through the village. People began to say that the mansion held some secret. All this is happening because of 4. Now everyone in Bharavpur village mentions the mansion. Would start to shudder. Reena's face had turned pale. Raghu was terrified to the point of madness. And Aniruddha Master was also now hesitant to go out alone at night. But this fear, it didn't stop there. Savita lit a lamp every night in front of the tulsi plant in her courtyard. That night, he did the same. But as soon as he lit the lamp, he felt as if someone is standing in the courtyard. Who is there? Nothing was visible in the darkness, but a strong gust of wind blew out the lamp. Savita lit a match. Then I saw a woman standing in the corner of the courtyard, her hair disheveled, wearing a black sari. It was oh my God. The woman slowly moved forward and whispered in his ear. 5 and listen, someone is coming to get you. Savita screamed. The family members ran, but no one was there. If anyone here, if there's a soul, I will give it peace today. He began to chant. Then, on the steps of the mansion, faint footsteps sounded. Who is it? There was no answer. But suddenly, the iron chain in front of him began to move on its own. Mohan was frightened. But he gathered courage. He continued to chant. Then, blood writing appeared on the wall. It's impossible to avoid the sound. Mohan's garland falls from his hand. He runs away. Return to the village. This place is ominous. There is some unseen force there. Amar, the village and town. Beach used to drive a bus. One night someone boarded his bus. There were no passengers either. The bus was passing through a deserted road. Suddenly, he saw a train coming from the rear of the bus. Someone is sitting on the seat. He sees in the mirror a man dressed in white whose face was a blur. "Hey, who's there? Get a ticket." No answer. Amar stopped the bus and went to the back. The seat was empty. He returned and sat in the driver's seat. Then he heard a voice called out, "Just keep going. I have the final destination." Amar's condition worsened. After that day, he stopped driving the bus at night. Hearing the panic of the Urs, the police sent DCP Arvind to investigate. Arvind was a rational man. He laughed at the talk of ghosts and spirits. "It's all superstition. I'll go and see for myself." He arrived at the mansion at night with a flashlight. The walls, the ruins were gone. But suddenly, heavy footsteps echoed down the stairs. "Wait. Who is it there?" He turned on his flashlight. There was no one in sight. But the next moment, he felt as if someone had a hand was placed on his shoulder. He turned around. There was only wind. Then he heard a clear sound in his ears. "Listen. If you want to know the truth, go down to the basement." So far, different people have heard the sound in different ways. Each incident was different. But the sounds all converged at one point. I suspect the mansion is hiding some secret. They won't let us live in peace until they find out. Hey, are you crazy? You want to go back there again? Yes, if the truth isn't revealed, these whispers will continue to haunt us. The village of Bharavpur has now become synonymous with terror. It was. People had stopped leaving their homes at night. Everyone listened for the same sound. The sound of slow footsteps. Reena's fear had now turned into curiosity. She decided to go to the basement of the mansion. She would leave it, but going alone was impossible. She called Ankit, Master Anirudh, and the police. Officer Arvind asked for help. "We have to find out the truth. Otherwise, these voices will eat us alive." "Okay. I'm the police. I can't back down. Let's go to the basement tonight." They get off at midnight. The four of them arrived at the mansion. It was so quiet inside. I could hear my heart beating. Suddenly, the same sound echoed down the stairs. Reena's hands started shaking. "Don't be afraid. We're all together, right? Everyone, let's go to the basement." Behind the mansion was an old, rusty iron door. Arvind slammed it shut, pushed. The door creaked open. And a strong whiff of stench wafted in. Downstairs. The descent was in the dark. All four people descended. The basement was cold and damp. It was full. The walls were covered in moss, and a broken stool sat in the middle. "Look, Mom." It was written in blood on the wall. "The eye is my curse. Whoever listens will be doomed." It must be. Who could have written all this? Just then, a blurry white shadow emerged from the corner of the basement. Everyone heard the same voice. "I am Lalita, the owner of this mansion. 100 years ago, my husband, driven by greed, buried me alive here. My screams, my..." The sound of footsteps echoed through the air. Reena's eyes widened in shock. So this? All the incidents, the same noise. Suddenly, the basement walls started shaking. From the ceiling, mud started falling. What's going on? My curse is eternal. Even those who know the truth cannot escape the wrath. Reena, Ankit, Anirudh and Arvind all started running out. But from all sides, a voice began to whisper, sometimes near, sometimes far away. Sometimes upstairs, sometimes downstairs. Everyone started coming out of the mansion. Then Arvind said to everyone, If we burn down the mansion itself, perhaps Lalita's buried body will also be burnt and liberated, and this effect of fire. The whole story ends. Then, they all set the entire mansion on fire and everyone left the mansion. We had heard that the owner of the mansion had suddenly she disappeared as she was actually murdered. The next day, people held a mass at the mansion. Puja was performed. That day, for the first time in many years, the village had a peaceful night. But a few days later, Reena was studying in her room. A cool breeze blew in through the window. Suddenly he heard the sound of slow footsteps coming from the corner of the room. Said tremblingly, "Who is it?" There was no answer. Just that voice. Fear returns to Reena's eyes. The mystery of the mansion in Bharavpur village is finally revealed. Is gone, but the sound is still alive. It is said that whoever hears this sound once, life is never the same. It is not just a voice, but the shadow of a blind man. Is the one that follows you everywhere. Sometimes you hear that sound, sometimes you don't. The sound of fear is audible but continues to echo around everyone. We are absolutely sure. Friends, you must have liked this story. If you too have experienced similar untold stories, please share them with us. Share it with us. We'll definitely feature it on our channel. Our email address is in the description box below. Please share and subscribe to our videos and channel and stay with us to hear such untold stories and tales.